Whoo. We had another negro moment this past weekend. What do I mean by negro moment? You know, when black people cheer on something just because they heard something or because something in that message they heard that made them feel good. A negro moment, you know? Like when you go to church and the pastor sits up there talking about, you could be a fornicator, you could be a crackhead, but you go to church and the pastor talking about your blessings on your way, and you sitting there clapping, but no one make you feel accountable for yourself. That's a negro moment, okay? Now, first of all, I want to let you know that Jesse Williams, I have nothing against this dude. And a lot of critics that's coming against this dude is really coming against him because they feel he's a half-breed. Black people. What can I do with you, man? What can I do? What can I do with you as black people, man? I can't do nothing with you. I just gotta live my life and stay away from niggism and stay in my lane. Because there's really nothing you can do. But getting back to a negro moment, okay? Just like I said, I could be a dope fiend, a crackhead. I spent the money for my rent to buy crack rock, right? So now I'm homeless. I go to church and the pastor sent up there talking about, oh, you think you lost your home because you did bad? No, you lost your home because God is planning something greater in you. And in my mind, that's taking accountability off of me that I didn't lose my home because of what I did. I'm losing my home because God has a bigger plan for me. I have a nigga moment, right? Because I feel good inside. It makes me feel good inside. And so this weekend, we had Jesse Williams give black people a negro moment. And as I said before, Jesse Williams is an activist, so I have nothing bad to say about him. Anybody who's out there in the streets doing something, we who's sitting behind a computer can't say anything about that. You see what I'm saying? We can't say anything about that because they're doing more than what we're doing. Okay? If I go out there and give a homeless person a griddle for McDonald's that I spent $1 or $2 for, you can't sit there and complain about me saying, oh, I'm giving him junk food, and you just sitting behind the computer. So the dude is giving homeless people McGriddles, so to speak. You see what I'm saying? He's not giving nobody food, but he's an activist out in the street. He got boots out in the street. So I can't really say nothing about this cat. But what I can say is about his audience. The individuals in that audience that had a negro moment. People are calling this speech inspirational, right? What black people don't realize is that when it comes to inspiration or being inspired, black people or Negroes, for some reason, think being inspired is this feel good, this euphoria, like, oh man, this speech made me feel good about myself. I want you to look up the word inspired for a minute. What does that mean? It means to prompt, to instigate, or give rise to. So to inspire is basically in a nutshell means to encourage or motivate an individual to do something with this message. So when you black people sitting on the camera talking about, oh, this was such an inspired, what did that message inspire you to do? Now, I can't find a video anywhere, the whole video on the internet. I guess they're taking it down because society doesn't like to hear that. But if anybody who recorded the BET Awards, I'm sure they're going to show encore episodes. I want you to look real closely into the audience while Jesse Williams giving a speech. Because this is what Negroes would do. Negroes have a bad habit of looking at the messenger more than they're hearing the message. So what I want you to do is when you look at Jesse Williams give a speech again, I want you to look at the audience. Okay, I want you to look at the audience. Now, if you look at any motivational speaker back in the day, you had You had Marcus Garvey, you had Martin Luther King, Malcolm X, anybody. I want you to look at their audience and tell me where their eyes are. Even the white folks. Tell me if their eyes are not focused on that speaker. Tell me that. Now go back and watch the BET Awards and watch the whole thing when Jesse Williams giving a speech. Tell me where the majority of those Negroes' eyes are looking. And tell me if they are not looking at him. I just noticed that the majority of those Negroes was looking around the audience. Only a handful of people in the audience was looking at Jesse Williams while he gave that speech. Some of them were looking at Deborah Lee, I think that's her name. As if, how dare you, not how dare you, but are you going to let this person sit here and talk? Like, you know how, the adult in the room and another child standing and the kids looking at the adult like, you had another woman looking around the audience like, what are the audience going to do? And then I look at DJ Khaled. What is this fat dude doing? He's on his phone texting. But yet dude will use black people in his video to make money off of. And yell his little fat name all through the video. But while dude's speaking about police brutality, DJ Fatty is sitting there texting on his phone. So again, I ask you black folks. Jesse Williams' speech inspired you to do what? But again, going back to that Negro moment. Because the thing about black folks is that a lot of times we hear things out of messages that we want to hear. Sometimes it's good, sometimes it's bad. Because the main thing a lot of critics of this guy is focusing on is this dude's skin color. This dude's parentage and his ethnicity. And what niggas don't understand is that if we were in slavery, Jesse Williams would be out in the field too, getting his behind beat, just like everybody else. Because you have 1 ounce of black in you, you was considered black. But today, we don't think that way. We think that, majority of the half whites was treated better than the other whites. No. A lot of them were getting raped just like the rest of them. And they were not viewed as white people. So the colorism is still here today. But anyway, getting back to this message. And I'm saying that a lot of black people will sit there and look at this and hear what they want to hear out this message. Majority of the people that stood up were black women. Why did they do that? Was it because they heard the whole message? No, because if you look at majority of the black women in the audience while he was talking, majority of the eyes wasn't even focused on him. They was focused on all throughout the audience like, am I supposed to be standing up? Is everybody else standing up? Okay, let me stand up. Am I supposed to be clapping off this dude or am I supposed to be just agreeing with him? If you don't believe me, watch that video again. And just notice what everybody's eyes is doing while this dude is talking. Only a handful of their eyes is focused on this dude because they're not listening to what he's talking about. The main reason they stood and started clapping was because he said this is to the black woman who put everybody else before themselves, or, something like that. And here I go. I'm talking about other people. Maybe I didn't listen to the message. I don't know. But once he said black women who give themselves up for everybody else, that's when the black woman got so-called inspired. Inspired to do what? Inspired to put other people in front of themselves? No. Just inspired to feel good about themselves. Because majority of people in this country that are born to single parent or a woman that have no man in the home are black kids. If you put the children before yourself, you would have found somebody who was going to help you take care of those children. You didn't put them children before yourself. If you did, the single parent rate among the black community wouldn't be as high as it is. So what he's talking about, if you look into that message, a lot of women in the audience, he was not talking to you. He said to the woman who put others in front of himself. That eliminated, I'd say, about 50% of the people in the audience. But again, because black women heard that, they just felt, oh, he gave us kudos. Let's go ahead and clap whatever he's saying next. So looking up to today, it inspired black women to, what do you say? Keep their pants up. The niggas not marriage material. Or black women still sleeping around. If I go to the hood today, or if I go to certain low section apartments, low income apartments, you have a single mom in the house, and her kids is outside running around without anybody looking after them because she don't feel like being bothered. She's seeing that little 3-year-old boy outside in the parking lot with nobody watch him. And you know what I'm talking about. You can act stupid if you want to. You know what I'm talking about. Kids be outside early in the morning playing around in the parking lot in apartment buildings. Not because the kids want to be out there, because mama told him to get out the house so she got another dude in the bedroom, or because she just don't feel like being bothered with the little kid. Or because there's no school, or because he's too young to go to school. I was walking through a neighborhood one time, a boy banging on the door, got to go to the bathroom. She's like, what do you want? Right through the door. It scared me because I'm like, ain't that your son? Don't he live there? Why you got to knock to go inside? I mean, what if you got to go to, what if somebody shot him or stabbed him? He can't say nothing. That's a little boy. I mean, I know it's not unique to the black race, but I can only speak of what I experienced, what I grew up around. So when Jesse Williams talks like that, when he said this is to, first of all, to the woman or single mothers or the black woman, whatever he said, that basically eliminated at least 50% of you. But you was clapping because he said single woman. And he gave kudos to single women or single mothers or black mothers or whatever he gave kudos to. He thought he was just praising you. But again, that's the Negro moment we had this past weekend. There's a couple other things he said in that video that a lot did not listen to. And I appreciate what he said, but a lot of sleeping Negroes will not understand what he's talking about. We pay or we pray to get money to buy brands on our backs, while we was praying for 300 years with brands on our back. Now, a lot of you sleep Negroes don't understand what he's talking about. So again, let me ask you this. Negroes, black people, did that message inspire you to stop focusing on the money or stop chasing the money, but start chasing more unity? Because I think that's what he opened up with, right? He said a racist system will not stand if we all started to stand up. Did that encourage us to start standing up as one? Of course not. Because I can guarantee you, since summer started in Chicago, murder finna start kicking in. Since Chicago, it started to snow, and so a lot of people are in the house. And in Chicago, the murder rate, I guess it goes down the winter, but in the summer, for some reason, it goes up. So let's see if Jesse Williams' speech motivated Chicagoans to stop killing each other. Let's see if that happened. It won't. Because as I said before, if you watch that video, look where everybody's eyes is while Jesse Williams is talking. Meaning they're not focusing on what he's talking about. They're focusing on what everybody else around him is doing. If nobody else clapped, no one would have clapped. They were like, who is this white boy up here talking about black people? Even Justin Timberlake chimed in. But guess what? People didn't go well with him because of the white boy. Anyway, that's all I got to say about that. Black people, let's stop please having these Negro moments, man. Let's start thinking, man. Let's start listening to what's really being said, and sometimes not what's not being said. Let's start listening, man. Let's stop focusing on who's saying it. Anyway, I'm out.